Hey everybody, Scott here for the Helix/HX Stomp channel. Today I'm going to explain snapshots with the HX Stomp. How to create them, how to use them, what they're good for. Shall we? Alrighty, here we are over at the HX Stomp. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to clear all this crap. This is one of the stock presets. I don't use stock presets. Who needs them? They suck. I've never used a unit where the stock presets were not complete crap. So, what I like to do, I set a base gate. And I'm sorry if the camera is not focusing automatically, but hey, that's the way it goes. I always set my decay at 100 milliseconds. I set my auto NZ to 230K ohm. Then I move over. We're going to make a very simple preset. We're going to have an overdrive. We're going to have, let's go with compulsive drive. We're going to have an amp model. Let's go with the best amp model in this thing. It's the Cali Texas 2. That's right. I said it. Next, let's throw in an IR, shall we? See? Oh, sorry. Nope. Jesus. Still not getting. I'm getting used to going between the Helix and this thing. It's not the easiest transition. I want an IR. Mono IR, 1024 is fine. We're going to go with a, and this is one of the great things about snapshots. We're going to use the IR select to go between a couple of different IRs in the snapshots. So, the only other thing we need is a bit of reverb. What do you think about that? For this very simple preset. I like plate reverb. I'm going to calm down this decay a bit. Pre-delay, 100 milliseconds. Low cut 240. High cut. And the reason why I adjust the low and the high cuts is because I don't want it to be a real muddy reverb or a super high-endy reverb. Sometimes that's a positive thing. Other times, I don't like it. In this case, we'll stick with about where we are. So, first thing, what is a snapshot, and how do you set up the HX Stomp to be in snapshot mode? Well, we've got, when we go in the, press the view button, we're actually already in snapshot mode, but there are other modes. There are preset modes. There's the presets in this particular way, and then there's snapshots. And when you have it on this particular screen, now you're in snapshot mode. Now there's a couple of things, then hit the view button, the home button to go back. One thing to remember, and we need to go into the global settings for this, is, where are we going here? I set my snapshot edits to discard. There's a reason for that. And because I don't want anything that I've made, that I've manipulated, that I didn't save on purpose to be saved to a preset. So anytime I'll monkey with something, if I don't save it, it is discarded. So that's why I set it to discard. I also set the tempo pitch to transparent. It just makes it sound a little better when you're going from one pitch to another. And all these other things, none of these really have anything to do with the stomp mode, so we can just get out of there, or the snapshot mode, that is. So now that we're in snapshot mode, we are on snapshot number 1, and for snapshot number 1, we don't want the overdrive on, so let's bypass that. You bypass it by pressing in the top rotary, and now it's sort of shaded. And that is bypassed. Let's go over to the amp model. Let's dial in a clean sound. On this particular amp, a clean overdrive or a clean tone is gotten or achieved by having drive of less than 3.0. And with depending on the pickups. If you're using humbucking pickups, you'll need to drop it down to about 2.0. I'd like to bring this down to about 3. No, actually, no, this comes down to about 2. This comes down to about 3.3. I'm going to, since we're dealing with a clean, I'm going to crank this. This goes all the way to 10. The presence comes down to about 2.0. And the master to about 9.2. I like the sag at 6, I like the ripple at 6, I like the bias on a clean sound to be at 5-ish, between 5 and 6, 5 and 5.8-ish. But, and the bias X I'll leave alone. Now, the IR, there's a couple of things to do. We're going to start with this greenback 112. We do need to make some adjustments to the bottom end. And the high and low cuts, that is. We want it to be nice, spanky, clean sound. Now, the IR level is very important. This is the first parameter we're going to snapshot enable. To snapshot enable a parameter, you press in the button, the rotary, right below the parameter you want to change, push it in and turn it at the same time until the numbers turn white. Now we're going to bring this down to negative 12.0. We're going to leave the reverb where it is. We grab a guitar. Hear what we have so far. Should be a clean sound. Sure. I'm probably going to have to turn that up so you can hear it. Because I don't have this plugged into the guitar's a little out of tune. Whatever. So we have our clean sound. Good times. Now, we can save the preset, pressing these two buttons up top at the same time, then saving. I don't want to change the name right now because it's a hassle. So that's one of the things that's not so easy to do with the HX Stomp is changing the names of things. I don't use the editor because the editor has screwed me in the past and continues to screw me. I had a customer who purchased some of my presets saying that all of the settings are not the way the settings should be, and that has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the editor. And it's really frustrating and lame, and I wish Line 6 would get their shit together. But whatever. So what we're going to do is I make all my changes on the units themselves. I don't plug them in to the computer or to the editor for anything but transferring files from the Helix or HX Stomp to my computer so that I can send them to my web guy. That's what I do. Now, we've saved this one, so let's go to Snapshot 2 just by pressing this button. Now we make the changes we want. First change, let's unbypass the overdrive. Let's drop down the gain. I don't want it to be super heavy. And so we've made some changes. We'll go over to the amp. Now, I don't need to snapshot enable the parameters on the overdrive because we're just going to use it as, you know, a bit of, you know, sort of crunchy. Pretty cool. But I do want to make some changes to the amp. So let's go over to the amp. Now we're going to snapshot enable both the drives. Pressing in the button, turning it to the right, we're going to go up to 3.3 on both of them. Push it in, turn it to the right. When the numbers turn white, you know you are right. Whatever. Now, the volume is going to be way too loud, so we're going to have to bring that down. Down to about, I'd say about 6. Let's give her a listen. Even lower. Oh, there's another parameter that we need to think about, and that is the parameters of the IR. This particular IR isn't going to sound great with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the snapshot enable on the IR select. Push it in, turn it to the right. We're going to go to a 212. Go to the first 212 and leaving the other. Actually, let's change the low cut because I want it to be have a little bit more bottom end. And then go over to the next. Let's change this. We need to get back up to about -18 because it's too loud. We need to attenuate. There we go. The amp model itself could use a little bit of bass, so let's push it in, turn it to the right. Same with some mids. Now we should have very cool. So now we've got, let's save that. Pressing the view and action button at the same time, then save. Now we've got our clean snapshot. We have our crunchy snapshot, dirty. I think the clean one's a little bit louder than the, but you know, those are minuscule details. Let's go on 9.5. Save it. Also, the IR, about -13. Save that. So now our clean is a little bit less loud than the. Very cool. Now let's make a heavier crunch. Let's go over to number 3. Let's change the IR again. We're going to go with the 412. There we go. We've got a 412. I like to bring the high cuts down on 412s. I don't want them to be as top-endy. We're going to probably have to drop this down to about -20. Let's go over to the amp model because I want to raise up the drives. That means I'm going to have to bring down the volume a bit. Let's go over to the compulsive drive. Now we're going to adjust the gain on that. So let's press in the knob below the gain button. Let's go 4.4. This should be a cool, heavy sound. And it is. There you have it. You've got 3 snapshots, 3 very usable sounds in 10 minutes. Good times. And you're utilizing all the snapshots. For me, I would use my FS5U for my lead boosts. So I really do strongly recommend, if you're going to use the HX Stomp, that you get an external switch. Either, you could use an expression pedal, or say the Boss FS5U or the FS6 or 7, whichever one is the momentary switch, because the HX Stomp does not want to see a latching switch. It wants to see a momentary switch, as I found out. Good times. There you go, everybody. Snapshots demystified. It's super simple and incredibly useful. I got to tell you, I don't think I would want to use the HX Stomp or the Helix if it weren't for the snapshots. Going between presets, there's a bit of a lag, and going between snapshots, there is not. And it makes it all worthwhile. And everything sounds great, everything works great. Can't say enough about it. 2 thumbs up. I would give it a better review had I more thumbs. So, there's that. I'll be back tomorrow with some Free Set Friday fun for you. Not sure what it is yet. Although, somebody gave me an idea the other day and I can't remember it now. So, If you remember it, drop me an email right here, because I don't remember it. I know I said that'd make a fine Freeset Friday, and then I forgot what it is. Yeah, it happens. What are you going to do? I am going to go and see Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen, Zach Wilde, Nuno Betancourt, and Tosin Abasi tonight. The Generation X show is in Austin at the Moody Theater, which is where Austin City Limits, the TV show, is filmed. Super cool room. Sounds great. I actually prefer the balcony to the floor. I even prefer the side to the floor because you can see the side of the stage, and oh, it's so much more fun. But, you know, I don't even know where my ticket is for tonight. Where, you know, in the venue, meeting some friends that I haven't seen in a while. So it's going to be a good time. I'll report back on it tomorrow. And until then, rock on.